Are back with Warren Buffett. And Warren, we've gotten a chance to ask you about a lot of different things that have been going on. Andrew just picked up with a line about some of the banks. And this is a good time to ask you about Wells Fargo, which you own a major stake.
Yeah.
How big is what's the percent of the shares outstanding you have?
Well, we have a little over 400 million shares, so we're well over 7% of the company.
We had John Stumpf recently to talk about how things are going at the bank. And a lot of people have said that they think that is the best run bank in the country. We had analysts who was on that day who said that as well. You own now a stake in Bank of America too. If you had to match all these banks up, what do you think is the best run bank?
Well, banks are not going to earn as good a return on equity in the future as they did about 5 years ago. Their leverage is being restrained for good reason in many cases. So banks earn on assets, but the ratio of assets to equity, the leverage they have, determines what they earn on equity. And if you reduce leverage, you reduce earnings on equity. It's still a good business. And the American banks are really probably, in many cases, in the best shape they've ever been in. Around the world, banks are not in good shape. But the American banking system has really had a remarkable comeback in the last 3 years.
You didn't answer my question.
What's the question?
Which bank do you like the best? You
Which bank? You mean the one we own?
Yeah, the ones you own.
Well, I would say that if I had to just own one bank, I would probably own Wells.
Okay, Wells Fargo is in the news today. There's a story in the Financial Times that says that the company is looking for acquisitions in terms of wealth management, that they're looking to get into some of that higher income game. Is that a good move from your perspective?
Well, if they execute it well, it's good. And what Wells has done very well is to sell a wide variety of services to a huge deposit base. The biggest single asset that Wells has is its deposit base, as is true at the Bank of America. Mm-hmm. They have a consumer-based, small business type base that's just huge. More so than will be the case with Morgan or Citigroup. So that's a terrific asset. It really isn't of big value now because you can't put money on it at any rate. But over time, it's a terrific asset. And they sell other products to that group. And the more products they have that they effectively can deliver to those clients, the better.
Well, that brings us to a question that we got from our viewers. Again, we have a lot of questions that have come in from our viewers. This one comes from Charles in New York, control room, it's number 84. And he picks up on this idea about the low rates. He says, if the employment picks up substantially this year, do you think it will prompt the Fed to reconsider its considerably low rates policy? And would that in turn end up helping those financials?
Well, if it picks up enough, I mean, if the economy really started roaring, the Fed would act sooner than 2014. They will respond to what they see in the economy. I doubt if it picks up at that rate. I think it will get better as the year goes along. But who knows? You get a lot of surprises in economics.
So you don't necessarily worry about inflation before that? I guess the Fed's looking at its best forecast, and it says 2014. Does that jibe with what you see?
Not necessarily. But I don't think I'm great on some crystal ball. I can tell you that business is getting better now. It's been getting better the last 3 years, and I think it'll keep getting better, barring some, bolt out of the blue. But I don't think anybody knows the pace at which it'll really start improving when housing construction picks up significantly.
If you had to bet, again, you don't have a crystal ball on this, but if you had to bet, do you think that it would pick up enough if you had to bet earlier or later that you'd say 2013 or 2015?
I think it'll look strong before 2014. Okay. Interest rates will pick up some, but we have sown the seeds of a lot of inflation for the future. Now, whether we can unsow those seeds and dig them up again, that's not so easy to do. It's easy to talk about, but it's a lot easier to sow the seeds than it is to replant.